From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A day after his fellow militia member was sentenced, the leader of the 2-for-1 militia himself is sentenced in federal court.
Schaefer Cox will spend nearly 26 years in prison. Judge Robert Bryan today sentenced the militia leader during a hearing in U.S. District Court in Anchorage. Before he was sentenced, Cox apologized to family and friends, saying he was acting out of fear before his arrest in March 2011. Cox was convicted of 9 federal charges, including conspiracy to kill federal law enforcement officers and possession of illegal weapons. Another militia member, Lonnie Vernon, also received nearly 26 years in prison when he was sentenced on Monday.
Senator Mark Begich is promising tough questions on the grounding and recovery of Shell's drill rig near Kodiak. In a letter to the head of the Coast Guard and Shell Oil, Begich said he plans to hold a meeting in Alaska to take a closer look at the incident, its causes, and the response effort. The Kulik is currently in safe harbor in a bay at Kodiak after it ran aground over a week ago. The Coast Guard is expected to begin its own investigation of the incident. Meanwhile, Secretary of the Interior Ken Salazar announced today that the department has launched an expedited high-level assessment of the 2012 offshore drilling program in the Beaufort and Chukchi Seas. The review, which is expected to be completed within 60 days, will pay special attention to challenges that Shell has encountered. The review will help with future permitting processes in the region.
January is Radon Action Month, and the UAF Cooperative Extension Service has programs planned to help Fairbanks remain safe. Radon is a naturally occurring gas that is colorless, odorless, and tasteless, and is created from the breakdown of uranium in the soil. The Cooperative Extension Office sells kits that can be used to detect radon levels in the home. They also conduct workshops around the interior to educate the public about radon detection and encourage the use of mitigation techniques to bring radon to safe levels.
The danger of radon is that it is a risk factor for lung cancer. And it's become apparent since the 1980s that Fairbanks has had some areas that are prevalent with radon seeping up, making its way through bedrock, invading through soils, and coming into people's basements.
News Center 11 intern Ashley Strange will have more on the Radon Month on the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News.
An Eielson Air Force Base man faces charges including 4 felonies for allegedly pointing a loaded pistol at his wife and another man and then hitting the man on the head with the gun. 44-year-old Joseph Brunsvold was arrested by troopers early Sunday. Brunsvold's wife told troopers she and Brunsvold argued and she went to a friend's house for the night. Brunsvold told troopers he went to the house to beat somebody up and he brought a handgun for intimidation. Now he was charged with DUI, weapons misconduct, assault, and other charges.
The Department of Revenue today confirmed that Alaska's bond rating has been upgraded once again to the highest grade of AAA by Fitch Ratings. This is the 3rd AAA rating in the state's history. Fitch attributed the ratings to Alaska's practice of maintaining exceptionally large reserves, extensive fiscal flexibility, and good budgetary restraint. Alaska was previously upgraded to AAA in 2010 by Moody and by Standard & Poor's in 2012. Governor Sean Parnell says that Alaska is solid and a responsible approach will keep Alaska on solid footing for many more years.
The Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce made 2 award presentations at their weekly meeting today. Wes Madden of Madden Real Estate was named as this year's recipient for the Bill Stroker Business of the Year Award to honor the accomplishments in the business community. The award also recognizes business for consistent community involvement. The George Nurbus Award went to Mary Jane Fate for her years of dedication to the community and as an outstanding volunteer.
To me, it's very important because our people of the Alaska is very important for us because that's our life. And we'll build and work together.
Well, it's very humbling to sit in a to stand up in front of a room of mentors of mine, other business leaders, and other volunteers in this community. The reward is it's something that's going to be very special to me for a very long time.
Well, the weather has been quite warm.
Yeah.
Snow today.
It snowed a little bit today, yeah, not too terrible.
So I'm going to take this from you.
Okay.
Mike, tell us what you know about the weather.
Little play on words there, huh? It's amazing what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, clear skies. Today, cloudy skies, a little light snow. In fact, our latest radar is showing, once again, we're looking at some patches of snow moving through the Fairbanks area. Nothing heavy, about a half an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch at the most. And most of it is moving out as we speak, so we're looking at tapering off later on tonight. And then temperatures will once again be fairly cool, but warmer temperatures on the horizon this weekend. And in the lower 48, boy, they've got some storms going on in the deep south. We'll tell you all about it with all the weather later on. Stephanie, Gerald?
Okay, thank you, Mike. Now, before we head to break, this just into the news center. The state has filed suit against the owners of 2 outdoor hydronic wood boilers last week, and now that is an effort to clean up Fairbanks air. The suit seeks to shut down 2 outdoor wood boilers that are near Wood River Elementary School that the state claims violate public nuisance laws by blanketing the West Fairbanks neighborhood with wood smoke. Now, the 2 boilers are located at rental properties on Palo Verde Avenue and Trinidad Drive that are owned by Andrew and Gloria Strone, who are named as defendants in the case. The civil action cites nearly 200 complaints filed with the Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation this month. All right.
And we'll have more on that as the details develop.
Absolutely.
But when we come back, how to protect your home against deadly radon gas.
And it is cold and flu season. Health officials say it's bad, but there is good news. That story and more. Stay with us.
Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Denali State Bank, your community bank, and by Nissan, innovation that excites.
And welcome back. Anchorage police were called to a high school after getting a report of a student with a gun. Police say Diamond High School was placed on lockdown status Tuesday morning. Now, police spokeswoman Danny Myron says 15 police officers were on scene within a minute of receiving the call at 9:35 a.m. She says a 16-year-old is accused of pointing what appeared to be a handgun at another student. It took the other student about an hour to report the incident to school officials. Now, the 16-year-old was taken into custody and is facing charges.
Late this afternoon, citizens participated in a walk of remembrance for Johnny Wallace, who died from burns suffered in a fire on New Year's Day. He was originally from Fort Yukon. Authorities say the 59-year-old man apparently had been sleeping in an entryway in the downtown post office when he was found on fire by citizens coming to pick up their mail. A large crowd was on hand at St. Matthew's Church this evening honoring Wallace and asking the questions surrounding the incident and his subsequent death be answered. The police and the fire marshal's office are continuing to investigate the death. According to Native leaders Shirley Lee and Steve Guinness, this is not just a Native issue, but a community one as well.
The community is concerned because there are so many unanswered questions, and TCC wanted to support the family in remembering Johnny, but also to remind the public that we're here waiting for those answers.
I know that this community really ought to be outraged by this tragedy, and that we all need to come together. Unfortunately, it just happened to be a Native person involved here, and that the community as a whole need to come together and see this investigation until somebody is held responsible.
Tomorrow on Fort Wainwright, there will be a special ribbon-cutting ceremony held for the new North Haven Community Center. The ceremony is in honor of the new project that will be open for residents to enjoy. Now, inside of the community center, there is a playroom for the young children, a large fireplace and sitting area, big screen TV, happy light and Skype area, and a 48-seat theater, among many other amenities. Both Major General Garrett and Colonel Ronald Johnson will be at the ceremony. The new center spoke to North Haven communities about the event today.
We wanted to do something special so that we could welcome everybody on post to come see this new building, get a chance to walk through and see everything great we've done here and see the facility that we've put together for our residents to use.
The new center will have more on the ceremony and center tomorrow in our military report.
ExxonMobil Corporation is the lead partner in a consortium planning to develop a $14 billion underwater oil field on Canada's Atlantic coast. The Exxon development, named Hebron, will capture 700 million barrels of heavy undersea crude. It rivals spending in Alberta's oil sands, where an estimated 170 billion barrels of oil attracted $23 billion in spending last year. Exxon owns a 36% stake in the project, and experts expect to begin production at Hebron near the end of 2017.
Well, the cold and flu season has hit hard this year around the nation and here in Alaska as well. Tonight in our health report, what you can do to keep yourself and your family healthy. Flu season arrived early in the United States with moderate to high outbreaks reported in 41 states. It is projected that between 5 and 20% of the general population will get the flu this season.
Here in Alaska, we're at moderate levels, and we don't show any signs of decreasing in terms of our incidence. So it looks like our incidence is going to continue to either pick up or continue at its current state.
Each year, 3 to 4 strains of the influenza virus dominate the season. This year, 2 strains more than others, influenza A H3N2 and an influenza B strain. State health officials say Centers for Disease Control say this is good news in regard to prevention.
91% of all influenza strains that they have tested at their CDC laboratory have been well matched to the influenza vaccine.
The most obvious and effective way to prevent the flu this season is to get vaccinated.
We really are promoting influenza vaccine this year as we always do, and as I said, it's just really encouraging to see such a high match rate to the vaccine.
You can still get sick, even with a flu shot. After all, it is flu and cold season, and you may contract a different strain of flu virus altogether. Health officials always recommend washing your hands repeatedly, disinfect surfaces that come into contact with those who are sick, and if you do come down with illness, plenty of fluids and rest.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
I don't know, I'm feeling this cold and flu season right
now.
now.
Yeah, I know. Everybody is, but not so much in the sports world where they keep trucking along. I hear we got some great exportations coming up here in sports.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And hockey fans, you can rejoice. The NHL lockout is over. We'll see how it got done. And the Ice Dogs, they made a big statement on the road, and we'll find out how it all went down coming up in sports. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this Tuesday. Good to see you as always. Now let's talk some sports. The first wrestling event of 2013 happened over the weekend at North Pole High School. It was the John Tobin Invitational. 8 schools participated in the tourney. North Pole led the Interior with a 4th place finish, but South Anchorage took the John Tobin title with 204.15 points. Wasilla was second with 183. North Pole had 112.5 for 4th. And Ketchikan came in third. West Anchorage had 94 points. That earned them a 5th place finish. West Valley placed 6th with 91. Lathrop was 7th with 53 points. Juneau Douglas rounds out the 8 teams. South Anchorage had 6 out of 10 wrestlers win titles in the championship matches. Craig Hammond was named the most outstanding wrestler. Hammond came in 22-0, and he left 25-0 with a 138-pound title for South. Day Agnew of West Valley won the 126-pound final, and Sam Zimmerman of Lathrop and the 145-pound class went into double overtime with Wasilla's Nate McKimson, but lost 6-5 in the title match. Wrestlers will be looking to build steam, like those big boys here, with the Alaska Wrestling Regionals approaching in a couple of weeks, and the 4A state tournament is less than a month away. The Nanox Cross Country Skiing team was well represented at the U.S. Cross Country Championships on day 3, which was Sunday. John Henneman, the sophomore, took first place in the junior men's 10-kilometer race. Henneman's 27-minute, 57.9 second time secured his spot on the U.S. Junior Skiing team for the World Junior Championships in the Czech Republic later this month. Henneman's first place finish also pre-qualifies him for the NCAA Men's and Women's Skiing Championships in March. On the women's side, junior Heather Edick led the way, finishing 28th overall and third in the Central region with a 20-kilometer race in 1 hour, 12 minutes, 18.2 seconds, which is a career best performance for Edick in the U.S. Nationals. The Ice Dogs handled business on the road against West Division leader Wenatchee Wild over the weekend to pick up some crucial points. The Ice Dogs won the weekend series 2-1 with a 5-2 win over the Wild on Sunday. After Friday's 2-1 loss, the Ice Dogs battled back on Saturday with a 3-2 shootout victory after trailing 2-0. On Sunday, the Ice Dogs kept up the momentum and hit the Wild in the mouth with a 3-0 first period. Steve Perry, he did the rest, making 26 of 28 saves for the win. David Lowe led the Ice Dogs in the series, being named the NAHL Player of the Week in the West for his 5-point weekend of 2 goals and 3 assists. Fairbanks is now just 4 points behind Wenatchee in the West. And it's been 113 days, but the NHL lockout is finally over. Hockey fans can rejoice and feel relief as hockey will commence this year. Kurt Gregory has more on the new collective bargaining agreement for the NHL.
For weeks, NHL owners and players squared off in negotiations that were often heated and contentious. Then early Sunday morning, the announcement NHL fans had been waiting 113 days for.
We have reached an agreement on the framework of a new collective bargaining agreement, the details of which need to be put to paper.
A federal mediator helped the two sides come together on the final stumbling blocks: contract lengths, minimum and maximum salary levels, and the player's pension plan.
Any process like this in the system we have is difficult. It can be long.
Long enough to cancel 510 games as players practice in groups across North America, while others signed contracts to play in Europe and Russia. The negotiations left nerves on edge.
It was the best deal for us that was available, and it's always tough because we're all fans of the game and you wish that you didn't have to go through this, but we did.
It was painful for everybody, I think, more for the fans.
Fans who are thrilled to have the bargaining process over.
I'm very happy to have them back.
It's all about the fans. You just got to play for the fans because they love the game.
Once the agreement is ratified, look for NHL training camps to open later this week. A shortened regular season will follow a week to 10 days later as the NHL gets back to business on the ice. Kurt Gregory, NBC News.
And that'll wrap things up for sports tonight. Watch more KTVF Sports on webcenter11.com and on our YouTube channel. And for your sports updates, follow KTVF 11 Sports and KTVF Joe Cook. That's me. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, I know it was cold today, but you know what? It's going to get a lot warmer. In fact, temperatures should, no, it was like 5 or 6 below for the high. I was looking at 5 above for the high today. Last night I got down to 17 below. So that's pretty chilly. Yeah, actually 20 below. You'll see that in just a little bit. Right now at the airport, let's go out there and see what's going on. We still have some light snow falling, 2 degrees below zero. That is our high for the day. There's the 20 below last night. Record high 40, 1930. Record low 53 below in 1952. Sunrise this morning, 10:43. Sunset at 3:16 this afternoon, giving us 4 hours and 33 minutes of daylight, a gain of 5 minutes from yesterday. Here's our photograph for today, and this photograph sent in by Jerry Curry. It's an ice halo he captured. Very beautiful shot there. We call it a sundog. And again, thanks to Jerry and all you folks that continue to send nice photographs to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Once again, air quality index right on through Thursday at 5 p.m. Fairbanks, unhealthy for sensitive groups. North Pole, unhealthy. It's same old record repeating itself every day. On our satellite picture, you can see a little bit of cloudiness moving across the interior. That's what's bringing us our light snow right now. Elsewhere, you can see out to the west, we have another big storm system. Got to keep an eye on that. That may be influencing our weather come Thursday. Across the rest of the state right now, we're looking at not too bad over southeast Alaska, cloudy to clear skies there. 27 degrees at Anchorage, Kodiak 34 degrees. Up and down the west coast, lots of clouds, but no precipitation being reported. Little light snow around Barrow, Fort Yukon 1 degree above zero. Lower 48 weather, lots to talk about tonight. First of all, the Pacific Northwest, more rain falling there. Lots of rain falling across parts of Texas and the deep south. They are getting hammered tonight. This is why on the satellite and radar, you can see lots of energy moving across the deep south. Places like Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston all getting hail and even some reports of tornadoes. More activity moving across the Pacific Northwest. The severe storm risk for tonight and tomorrow, as you see damaging winds, tornadoes, all over the deep south, most of Texas being influenced by that system. And again, later on this week, the jet stream bringing lots of cold air in from Canada all the way down as far south as southern parts of Nevada. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. First of all, the northern sections, looking at cloudy skies for Barrow, flurries and fog for Nome, and mostly cloudy skies in Fort Yukon, 11 below for the high tomorrow. Some cooler air back in over Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, flurries will be ending, becoming partly cloudy at Fairbanks and Denali Park, so a nice day tomorrow afternoon. Over the southeast part of the state, partly cloudy skies at Juneau, and sunshine will return to Ketchikan with a high of 36 degrees. Over to the southwest, we're looking at snow at Bethel, rainy in Cold Bay. Kodiak will have mostly cloudy skies. And over the south central regions, partly cloudy skies at Anchorage, mainly cloudy for Homer and Valdez. Once again, time for our kids' weather. And tonight we are talking with the kids from North Pole Elementary School. A young lady got caught in a blizzard. She's going to tell you about that.
One winter there was a blizzard at my house. My school had to be closed because no one could get on the roads. My sister was upset when the bus didn't come. We waited for a week before we could go back to school. That is my weather story.
And again, tomorrow night, we'll have another young lady with us. She'll be sharing a picture of a rainbow with us. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our Kids Weather Watch. Tonight's forecast, 12 below, chilly with light snow tapering off to flurries. Tomorrow's forecast, looking at 5 degrees below zero, morning flurries becoming partly cloudy skies. And the extended forecast, here's the good news. You can see temperatures warming up to 10 degrees by Friday, also 10 degrees on Sunday. Once again, a little bit of off and on snow possible for Thursday, and then again on Sunday. Overnight lows also very nice for this time of year, 5 below to 0, and that is actually very warm for this time of year, as our normal low is 17 below.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, so a little heat wave for us, a little shorts weather, if you want to call it that. Yeah.
Shorts with long johns.
And hopefully it'll make it less miserable for those, for those with the flu and cold right now. Yeah, hopefully it'll be good for them. All right, that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the flu outbreak now so bad some hospitals are taking extreme measures. That's next with Brian Williams.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
Stephanie, go home and eat that chicken soup. That'll do it from all of us here at the News Center and the Ward. That will do it, and we'll see you back here again at 11. Have a good night.